Cosmic Ocean. That's how it is. My name's Nayeli.
And I'm Fatima. Bienvenidos.
I'm doing
Cosmic Ocean.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry, dude. Keep going.
No, that's it.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I slept in today, so I'm happy. So
nice. What time you slept in?
Oh, I slept in till 11.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. I was gonna wake up at 11, but I just need to stop doing that.
I've been trying to be creative and working on my creative side, but I've been a little stuck.
Ooh.
So I don't know. So I have to figure it out.
Oh, because that was part of the healing session.
Was it the creative?
Yeah, you have to surrender.
And that creative part, oof. But then also, like, scientifically, it's and neurologically, it's like that whole right brain and the left brain. That way, when you're in that fight, flight or freeze or fawn, when you're in that state, it's like the logical brain turns off and the creative side is the one that's on, but it doesn't allow creativity. It just on autopilot, the reptile brain, autopilot, having you survive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because that's been on for so long, now that I'm trying to turn on the creative part, god damn, it's hard. It's like, yeah. It's like,
what does that mean? Gripping the air.
Trying to crawl out of a little space.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's hard.
Okay.
It just doesn't.
Oh my god, the little bug, the little beetle. And you're crawling out.
Oh, okay, a little succubus? No. God, here we go again.
Scarab. See, just stop and listen, and they'll tell you. Okay, so before we start, I hope if you are listening to this linearly, if you haven't found out what kind of land you're on, you should do it.
Find out.
You should find out. Connect to your indigenous side. Everybody has an indigenous side, right?
Well, not every. Well,
go back to the roots, I guess.
Your roots, yeah, that's more.
But also be aware of the indigenous community. Be aware of the way that they have impacted this land too. I was looking at a map that was showing how the indigenous, what is it called? Like the reservations, are the only places that have kept so the land that the government gave the indigenous peoples is the only land in the map of the USA right now that has preserved their nature, their greenery.
Oh, wow.
That has preserved the land, which was so crazy because, like, imagine the map super green, and then colonization happened and whatever, 2022. Now that map was like all white and gray, and only the areas that were given to the indigenous peoples were kept preserved. So that was so crazy to look at. It was really sad to like acknowledge, to like just see everything that was washed away.
And what we have done to Mother Earth, how much we have used.
But she'll grow. She'll grow back, you know. She'll come back. That's life, ebb and flow. But anyways, so yes, we here in Denver, Colorado, we reside on the unceded land of the Cheyenne and Arapaho peoples, amongst many, 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 many other peoples who have walked this land, and we have to acknowledge that it's stolen. That's the first step, and the next step is to figure out what land you reside on. Cool. So you can follow me at the Nay_area on TikTok, Instagram,
all
Twitter,
platforms,
yeah. Link in bio to book a reading. Okay, and you can follow
Hija del Maíz on Instagram.
Fatima Hija del Maíz with an E.
MAIZE on TikTok and Instagram. Here in Colorado, there's a county that's called Arapaho County, and the girls were telling me that there was a lawsuit by the indigenous people against the Arapaho County because that's my gosh, that's just culturally, taking away part of their culture. They're using their tribe's name as a county, and I think they won. I have to look into it, but I believe they won.
Damn.
The lawsuit. Yeah.
That's badass.
So I don't know if they're just gonna give the indigenous communities money, or if they're gonna actually change that county name. Mm-hmm. Very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can't use their name and then or their culture, and then not give them any recognition, resources, X.
So sad.
Cool. So today we were going to talk about codependency and
addiction.
More so what's like the difference between connection versus attachment, and then diving into attachment a little bit more, looking at it as addiction, looking at it as codependency. And I feel like this was a really good topic to touch on for both me and you, because generational trauma, we both lived through very, very similar things because of this codependency, addiction, attachment. As well as the Neptune in 5th house. But yeah,
so Neptune in the 5th house. Can you
did
explain
you look at it?
No, well, you had already told me.
Oh, okay.
Explain what that is.
So Neptune in the 5th house is basically just I don't have my
look
phone.
It up.
I wish I knew more about Neptune, and I think I will, but with time, maybe this is the moment. So, anyways. Neptune in 5th house is just you romanticize illusions and guilty. And
so we romanticize any relationship, any contact, anything and everything. We romanticize everything. We would be really good romance novel writers.
Dead ass though, for real.
Oh yeah.
And then just on top of, for me, I feel like it's just a little bit worse. Well, not worse. I don't know. It adds a little extra little sprinkle because I'm a Pisces sun and a Virgo rising. So Pisces daydream and romanticize everything and anything. And Virgo risings love to help people.
Oh God.
And then with my Capricorn
You're an
moon,
enabler all over you. Enabler.
Dead ass though. Jeez, Rick. Okay, cool. So yeah.
Damn.
So do you know the difference between connection and attachment?
Well, the way I understand it is, to connect is you connect over stuff. You both have, you can have, so in romantic relationships you can have different ideas, goals, whatever, but you connect on them. You both have your sense of identity, so you each know who you are and you each have your own identities of self, and you just come together, right? But not overlapping, not expecting somebody to come and take care of you, and not expecting them to make you happy, right? But attachment, that's where you come in and you project all your shit onto them, and then you just expect them to make you happy. That's the way I kind of understand it.
I understand that way as well. But I feel too, it's so interesting that you just bring up romantic relationships, because I feel like the connection versus attachment can be applied to any relationship. True, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be a platonic relationship. It could be a family.
With parents.
Yeah,
siblings.
Exactly. Or even just, usually just, I guess. Okay. So I don't think it's just romantic, especially when it comes from you. When you have that, let's say like us, when I had that attachment rather than connection, so how I understand attachment is just operating from a place of need, or operating from a wound. And so it didn't matter what kind of relationship, I would just attach myself to whatever. Like I couldn't do anything at one point without your validation. You know what I mean? But that's because I had attached myself to my relationship with you, that I was like, okay, well, I don't believe in myself, but my mom believes in me. If my mom says yes, then I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like I was just operating from a place of, I don't love myself. I don't believe in myself. I need somebody who will do that for me.
we have a question: is can attachment be both ways? And I think it can.
Yeah.
Because then, if you think about it, if I, so for example, that you gave, if I would have been in a healthy place, I would be like, no, Nayeli, you need to decide. You need to take, and give you that power back instead of being that enabler to you, right?
Yeah, and it goes both ways. I totally understand. It goes both ways because yes, you're my mom, so I go to you for anything and everything, whatever it is. Going deeper into the spiritual journey, you started doing that with me, with questions. And you found out that I'm not the one.
I know.
I'm not the one.
I'd be like, Haley, what do you think about this? Why don't you ask yourself? What do you think?
Yeah, so then
go meditate.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. But there's sometimes I do answer.
Yeah. I think I think when I first would come to you to ask you, you'd be like, no. But then now that we can discuss things, it's easier. So you don't just send me to...
I think it was the other way around.
Oh, the other way?
I think at the beginning I was like, okay, yeah, boom, 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 boom. And then it reached a point in your growth that it was like, okay, you're...
You know.
Yeah, and so then it stopped. And then we could just talk about it.
And now we talk about it.
Yeah,
because I don't ask you. Oh, and I think... Now I'm always like, I just want to talk about it. I'm not asking. And so to discuss things.
Yeah. And I'm super hardcore with my boundaries now.
Oh God, yeah. With me. With me.
What do you mean? Why not with you? Like, why not with anybody else? Why do you think that?
With your dad?
What about it?
You don't have the same boundaries with your dad?
Okay, I need you to go more in depth.
Well, I think... I'm trying to think. I think that's the only other relationship because with your grandparents, obviously there's
boundaries for days.
Boundaries for days. With your sisters, there's boundaries for days. But I think just with your dad, you and him have a different relationship where you're very nurturing and you're trying to help a lot, right? So then I feel like with him, you don't have those boundaries that you have with me. So he can ask you and you'd be like, yeah.
No. So we go back to every relationship is different, right? So the boundaries I have with you are different than the boundaries I have with the girls, and they're all different with the boundaries I have with my grandpa or with my grandparents. No, with my dad I have boundaries. Yeah. He'll ask me questions and I'll tell him, oh no, I can't answer. I can't answer right now or I can't answer. Just straight up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey. Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, that's really good.
But I think it took a while. Did it take a while?
No. My dad just texted me. I think they can hear you. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think it was hard.
Oh, good.
I feel like because I had already gone through it with you, and because I had already and what I mean by gone through it was just having a relationship as mother and daughter and as spiritual being to another spiritual being.
Okay.
I had it with you first. I knew what to expect. I knew what it's like. I was also on both ends of it. So I understand. And then I had already processed a lot of the trauma from my relationship with my dad.
That's what I was that was my next point. But was it harder because of all the trauma with your dad?
I feel it wasn't harder. I definitely did feel triggered in the beginning, and I had to process those, and it was just it was actually a very healing experience, that I feel like I was just flowing through it. So I don't actually think it was hard at all. And I was very, very aware of the relationship, the questions, and it wasn't like take. There was effort on both of our ends of, okay, this isn't just going to be spiritual being. Let me ask you questions.
Right.
You know
I don't want
mean?
this just good.
Yeah. And
really good.
the times that I couldn't answer specific questions was just because I felt uncomfortable or I wasn't in the headspace for it, or I just they told me I couldn't. You know what I mean? And I've communicated.
Because I think that for you, how has that been to navigate with the whole family? Well, the ones that know how you are, right? Like, because I feel like even with my sister, right, like when she was here, she'd be like, "Oh, Nayeli, what do you think about this one?" So I think, how has that been for you to navigate that part? Because like I think they see you as once they realize who you are, then they're like, "Oh my God, you know, she can answer all these questions for me," right?
Yeah. Again, I don't know. Well, I do know, but I'm trying to find the words to be able to articulate it. I think that it makes a part of me really, really happy to be able to do that, to be able to be a part of the healing journey, because I love you guys so much, like everybody. And my Virgo rising, I love help people. I love helping people, especially people that I love. I think the hardest part in all of that is seeing somebody that you love come to you, ask you questions, and then you will give them whatever, right? And then them not following through, or them not doing the work, and watching them fall back. I think that's the hardest part. I haven't had to... It's been actually really easy. It's been super in fluidity. I haven't had to draw boundaries with anybody. I mean, obviously I do draw my boundaries, but nothing has been so hardcore that it has fucked me up.
Right.
Or has made me feel uncomfortable. I don't know how to explain it. Nothing has really deterred me from my path, pissed me off, triggered me in a way that I get so consumed by it.
Right. I think for us on our end, it's like the whole being able to come to you to ask you these questions has been a very humbling also, because we're all older than you.
Yeah.
We're all the parents, we're the, you know, the aunts and the uncles. So I think that especially like for like your aunts that come to you, I think that's really powerful, because I've seen how like somebody has come to you and then once they didn't follow your advice, like you said, then they just stop, right? And so I think that for us being on this end, it's just very helpful also. It's very humbling, but in a sense of like, damn, like we're letting you in, we're opening that door to our soul, right? And you're coming in and you're able to help.
Right.
So I think that's beautiful. So
that is really beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah, thank you. And I think too that is actually another hard part. I mean, it's hard in the beginning. When I first started, it was really hard. I remember I just didn't want to say things, or I didn't.
Oh, I know. I'd be like, why?
Just say it. Yeah. Just say it. Because I was just like, well, I already know how you're gonna take it, or this is super vulnerable. I don't know how you're gonna take it. But that was because I was still operating from Nayeli, the little wounded kid. You know what I mean? Yeah,
making altars in her closet.
Yeah, exactly. And oh my God, but you guys are all my elders, people. And then when I transitioned to, well, I'm just a vessel, don't shoot the messenger, boom, that was just easier. And that I had to work to get there, you know. I had to do my own shadow work. I had to be like, which is so fucking funny too, because one of my biggest traumas, or I guess you would call them traumas, was just like I feel so ancient. Like I feel like I've been here past centuries. Like just I've just been here always. But people never see me like that. They see me like a baby.
Yeah, and that you look so young.
And I look like
You're
a baby.
Young. You look even younger. You're tiny.
Yeah.
Which is funny though. I think that's a test. They're like, oh, we're gonna bring like these short little brown bodies for her. Yeah.
What the fuck, bro?
Because I swear, Nayeli thinks she's like 6'11".
Yeah.
Like literally, big old muscles, and
yeah.
she thinks she's huge, right? And I'm like, so I was at the reminder, she's really short. Doesn't help, but I still remind her.
Damn. Yeah.
So yeah, you feel ancient, and I see it. I feel like I always have to remind you that we're humans, right? That you're in this place living this human experience, and you gotta give us a freaking break. Some of us learn the hard. Like I like to learn the hard way.
Me too, though.
And you do too. Yeah. And I've always learned the hard way. It takes me months, years, and you get so mad at me. My best friend gets so mad at me. They're like, yeah, you have to wait until somebody else tells you. But I just have to process and do it, which sucks.
Yeah,
and I always bitch at you about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bitch at you because I'm like...
And it goes both ways. It goes both ways, though.
What was it recently? You were just mad at me for something recently. You're like, really? I told you. What was it?
Literally anything. Literally anything. I was one of the podcasts I was talking to you about how we're a divinity and we're one, and you're like, oh my god, I get it because excuse me, ma'am. Your teacher.
My teacher.
Like I just told you that. You know what I mean?
Teacher too.
I don't know.
Now you feel like you're her teacher?
No. Oh my god, I'm not saying that at all. No.
But she's your teacher to an extent.
Yeah, she has been a teacher. Taught me something. Yeah. But I haven't clung to. There's the attachment.
No. Oh no, and I don't think you're ever gonna do it.
Unfortunately, which I did want. You know. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, we should do a podcast in Spanish one day, Mom.
Okay.
Okay.
Hola, mi gente. Buenos
días. No.
¿Dónde está mi gente?
Hey. No, we don't sing J Balvin. Okay.
Oh yeah, for that.
So, what were we talking about? The attachment.
The attachment.
That I clung to these attachments, man. I mean, that was a big trauma.
I do that too, yeah.
Yeah, you do that too. For me, it's an abandonment wound.
So you were... me too, obviously. You preach it to the choir.
Hey, I know.
I think
¿Dónde está mi gente?
We don't sing, you remember? Oh no, we're singing what is that?
Why did we do the same dance move but like different? Okay, no, that was different. Okay. I was talking about how your teacher is not necessarily my teacher.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that I'm her teacher either. It just means that I haven't, I've had a few classes, but there's always this, I don't know, I haven't clung to the attachment of the title. I haven't.
Yeah, it's okay, you don't need it.
Right. And then we go back to the thought or to the experience, I don't know, of when I did need it. Yeah. I went into these classes like, you're going to be my teacher.
Yeah.
And it just never clicked. It never felt okay, right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's fine. That's okay.
But I think for you, what I've realized, and I think you've realized this also, you have these people come in, teach you something, and then that's it. So it's like they just connect with you for what they need to bring down to you.
Right.
And then that's it. You don't create this attachment because you don't need to. You find these different teachers as you go through your path. Have you noticed?
Right, yeah. So I guess, yes, teacher, but just not long term. Because when I think teacher, I think long term. You know what I mean? And that's part of the work that I'm doing too, is not everything has to be long term.
Right.
Because that's also coming from my abandonment. Man, just kidding. That's also coming from an abandonment wound.
Yeah.
But yeah, I operated in my life from this abandonment wound, from this need of like, you have to fill my void, you have to do it, you have to do it in any context. Going straight to spiritual teacher, you have to fill my void, spiritual teacher, because I don't feel like I can do that for myself. You have to fill my void in a romantic relationship because I don't feel like I'm lovable. You have to fill my void, mom, because my dad was gone. You know what I mean? You have to play both my mom and my dad. It's all on you. You know what I mean? Or going and trying to make my grandpa my dad.
Right.
You know?
Right. And then my people pleasing, yes, I will be your mom and your dad.
Yeah, or yes, I will overextend myself, even though at this point it's not my responsibility. You know what I mean? So it's just that attachment, and then my God, and it becomes an attachment because I refuse to let it go, or I refused to let it go. Making you feel like it was your responsibility to take care of me, but I'm grown. You know what I mean? And that refusal of letting it go, oh my God, just fucking deteriorates everything around you, man. It makes everything harder to grow.
Yeah.
You find yourself stuck in these cycles over and over and over.
Oh my God, yeah. And it for me, it didn't click till I was in my 30s with my parents. Oh shit, they don't need to make me happy anymore. They don't need to fill that void. I can just fill that myself, you know. So, damn, that's hardcore.
It is hardcore.
So then you see how important it is to get all this stuff done. Do your work, because then it bleeds into your spirituality. It bleeds into what, like, the ancestors are trying to tell you, that you don't know if it's that or if it's your wound talking.
Yeah, that you don't know if you've been projecting or, well, I don't know. I feel like you do know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like if you're not, like if you're just getting started and and you're just doing that, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because you can't differentiate the voices yet, right?
Oh yeah. In the beginning, oh my god, I do remember that. In the beginning of my spiritual journey, super ego, oh my god, when they fucking went in there and said, "Bitch, look at this." It was just really hard, bro. It was so hard. Those ego deaths, and death in quotation, because again, I don't believe that the ego truly dies.
You just settle it.
You just settle it. You just balance it. But yeah, damn, I also saw a tweet that was talking super different. It was talking about NPRs, talking about NCPs. What were they called? What are they called? NCPs. Like, I don't know if it's NCPs, but basically, like, people that are just vessels. People, well, not even, people that are, like, controlled by the system. Like the Matrix, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh my god. Well, yeah. Have you noticed that, like, what did you say?
They're controlled by the Matrix.
Okay.
So you know those people?
Have you noticed that, like, when you go into the store, it's empty, and then all of a sudden it's full?
Yeah.
You go onto the highway, there's nobody, and then all of a sudden it's full.
Yeah, I don't know about that, though.
No.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I haven't sat with that. I mean, this is the second time it's come up today. I brought it up. But I don't know. Because then it's like, but I am everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, I do think that there are people that are so sucked into the Matrix that they might as well, like, not be real. That doesn't mean that they're not real.
But they're just so sucked into
sucked into it.
What is it? What are they called?
Humanity?
Sim. They're sim.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't think that makes them not real, you know? Anyways, so this attachment and this connection, and then that attachment becomes addictive.
Yeah, because then that's what you... So, like, in your... Like, for your example, with your abandonment issues...
Why my example? Why not your example?
Because you're being very vulnerable today, so we're going for it. We're going for it.
Yeah.
So...
Don't be fooled, though, because this is shit that I'm comfy
exactly,
about. Like, this is, like, shit that I've already processed.
And that's okay. That is okay.
Because ask me how I am, and then I'm gonna run.
We're not asking. Okay, fine. My example. So for me, with my attachments,
you can't speak on my experience.
I was gonna give you an example and ask, but fine.
Okay, go.
No, so for on my perspective, you know, I had my abandonment issues. So very similar, our abandonment issues, mine and yours. And then I went and I had this attachment. Well, no, with my parents, I think I didn't have an attachment with either or.
Ooh, let's unpack that.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so abandonment issues, why?
Because they were never there.
Okay.
So my parents were never there, but then emotionally, there was no emotional attachment either.
Physical
right.
and emotional.
Oh, and it's even worse, I think, because when I was born really sick, and so I was like in an incubator for months, and they said that it was gonna be a miracle if I would live. So then I didn't create that connection with my mom, you know, that person. So then I don't think I touched them until I was like, they didn't touch me until I was like 3 or 4 months.
Damn.
If that, yeah. But so then we didn't create that. So then I don't have. So imagine I'm a Sagittarius and I don't have that connection with them. So that's why it's so easy for me to cut them off.
Yeah, and so as well as your South Node is a Capricorn. Your South Node is in Capricorn, so your South Node being your karma, so things that you have to let go of. And remember, we talked about it, right? Yes, we talked about it. Okay. Because so then your Dharma, which would be the opposite of Capricorn, I don't remember, I think it's like Cancer or something. So you have to let go of the lack of emotions, and you have to be more vulnerable, and you have to step into your divine feminine and your creativity and your vulnerability. Right. Which would just feed into the...
But see, it's just a lot of work because I never had that, right? Yeah. So I never had that, so then I just went into this relationship with the same non-attachment.
No, it is a
super attachment, but non-emotional. You know what I mean? Like, no... Because I found the same thing that I got with my parents, right? Which it was no emotional attachment, I guess. Am I saying that right?
So let me explain my experience then. So, because again, I had so my dad was just not physically here. You were not emotionally there. So I have that both. Okay. But then so my abandonment wound was, okay, I have to do everything I have to, for you, Well, for both of you guys, it was this.
Because your dad was there, but he was always in and out, in and out.
Right, right. So always afraid that they would leave. So I would be super.
Right.
Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. Clingy, needy. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't unemotional. Like there wasn't an emotional attachment. I feel like there was an emotional attachment, pero a fuerzas. Like I was like forcing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I made it, and then that's where the illusion comes in. So yes, there was an emotional attachment when I was little. I mean, a year ago, two fucking years ago. Oh, that too. Okay. Shoot, I was operating from this emotional attachment everywhere. Starbucks. Yeah. You have to look at it everywhere, everywhere, because I was operating from that trauma wound of, okay, I can't be loved, or I'm going to be loved temporarily, or they're going to leave. I can't stand
I have to attach, I have to
be
so needy, I have to be like this.
Well, yeah. It's not that I felt like I had to, but I felt like if I couldn't, and that's where my sense of control comes in too, that if I let go, you're going to go. So I'm going to make sure that I don't let go. And so then it was an emotional attachment, but because I was the emotional one. It doesn't matter what they were. Honestly, it didn't matter. And then we can look at romantic relationships too. It doesn't matter, or it didn't matter who the person was, as long as you fit the role. And if you're coming in trying to fit the role, not even that they're trying to, but if you're coming in and trying to talk to me romantically, then in my head you fit the role. And I'm going to make you fit the role. And I'm going to attach myself to all these illusions. I'm going to attach myself to all these expectations to the role. You know what I mean? Does that answer your question? So like whenever my dad would come back, you fit the role, you're my dad, whatever. I'm going to attach myself to it, and then I'm going to be surprised when you do the same shit.
And then when he left, you'd be so surprised.
So surprised, bro. So surprised. And you'd always be...
Okay, fine, we both be so surprised.
Yeah, exactly. But it's because it was this endless cycle. Endless cycle. Because we attach ourselves to the illusion. Because we become emotional. We have that relationship emotionally with it now, but it's all in our fucking
it's all head. Okay, so see, it's perfect. Same thing with me then. It was all in my head.
Yeah,
it was all in my fantasy.
Yeah.
Aww,
Lola, you okay, Lola?
Lola, crying?
Are you crying?
No.
Oh, okay.
My eyes are sputtering.
They're just sweating.
Just a little sweaty.
Yeah, these attachments are vicious, and then it becomes an addiction, right? We talked about it.
Oh my god! And then I was reading something like it becomes such an addiction. So, and when you include all this trauma, all this narcissist, all that stuff, it fucks your brain up so bad. Yeah. So bad. Yeah. So it's like, that's why these individuals, even anybody who was in any kind of emotionally abusive relationship, emotionally, physically, whatever, it's like you start with this beautiful honeymoon period, the cycle of abuse, and then, things start getting a little bad, then you're walking on eggshells, then the abuse, boom, happens, everything goes to hell, then you're picking up the pieces, and then again, the honeymoon period. So it's this cycle. That's the cycle of abuse, and it keeps happening over and over and over and over.
And it totally is the dopamine hit.
Oh my god!
And then for people who are operating from these abandonment wounds, it's like, oh my god, we were so good, and now it's all my fault. Let me make it better. And then you make it better, and then it happens again, and you're like, oh my god, you can't leave. And this is the same cycle. If you find yourself in that romantic relationship that's like that, well, where does it come from, right? Because it didn't stem from there. It didn't come from there.
Oh my god, no. For me, I remember this cycle, and that's when, I think I put it together with my therapist, or when I was reading something. I don't know. A couple years ago, I figured it out, though. It's like, I remember my sister and I, we'd be all at home. Then my mom would come home, and we'd be, running, just tiptoeing on eggshells, always around her. And then the shit would hit the fan, everything would, go to hell, and then everything would be happy again. She'd be nice, she'd be cooking, and then and then the pressure would start mounting again, and so it's just this cycle. Yeah. Always with that. Always.
I remember that too. On my end. Yeah. And then you go and you find it, and it becomes very familiar, and you're like, oh my god. Okay, and then we go back to the addiction part. Damn, they keep bringing it up, and then I can't. Anyways, so then you end it or you leave.
But you're literally addicted to that. You're addicted to that dope, that high. Oh my god, it's beautiful honeymoon period, then then it's horrible, but then you're like, oh no, but it gets better, it gets better.
Yeah.
Then it comes back up, so you're addicted to that cycle.
Over and over and over again. And not just because of that relationship, but because of the childhood trauma. And then it's like, and then you find yourself in the same relationships over and over and over again.
If you don't do your work. If you don't do your shadow work.
Right, exactly.
But it's so hard. You have to literally get out of these relationships, and you have to be by yourself and do this work, because then you attract that same people. You go and look for those same people. So it's like, you can't just be jumping from one relationship to the other, to the other, to the other,
right,
without doing your work.
Yeah, and that's why, fuck, man, we always preach, be by yourself, be by yourself, be by yourself. Yeah. And so yes, it's heavy. Yes, it's hard. Yeah. Yes, it fucking sucks. But then you get out of it, and the world changes.
You are literally reprogramming your brain. That's how hard it is. Reprogramming.
And that's how rewarding fucking it is.
Yes.
Because then you feel free.
And it's just crazy because, like, we're talking about this in the last podcast. I don't remember a lot of things. But that's also because of the trauma, right? That I was so in that cycle, right? Walking on those eggshells, that I don't remember a lot of things. So then now is like being present, like actually being a part of the play, you know? So it's just cool to... It sucks because I don't remember a lot of stuff, but it's so awesome to be awake now.
Yeah, and I feel like the more that you meditate, the more you can ask them, okay, tell me about it.
Do I really want to know, though?
Oh, I mean, I think at one point you will be able, you will want to.
It just sucks. I don't want to. Okay. I don't want to right now.
Okay, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But yeah, once you wake up, it's just, you feel alive. You feel connected to everything. And it's like you finally understand what people are saying when it's like, oh, I'm connected to everything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But it's crazy. It's those simple little things, guys. It's like, and I think one of the things you noticed, or you'd always tell me, is like driving without a GPS. Yeah. Oh my God. Being able to, like, I know where I'm at, right? I know where I'm going, but just being able to drive without a GPS is huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
It's really cool.
And the reason
rewarding growth.
Yeah, the reason it's such a big accomplishment is because when you're in these trauma cycles, when you're in this trauma and this abuse and this emotional captivity, whatever, you're so wrapped up in your anxiety that you're so either, in your head about the future, in your head about the past, that you're not in the present. So then you literally cannot get out of your head enough to drive somewhere, to go somewhere without it telling you where to go.
Right. And attachment comes from your mind. Yeah. Attachment is operating from your mind, operating from the trauma.
It's an addiction is literally, it's chemical. It's chemical based. It's the body. It's what your brain is used to. It's what you're feeding it, right? Because you're not doing drugs. You're not drinking alcohol, or you might be too. But it's the hormones and that releases, all the hormones are released into your body that your brain and your body become addicted to. Yeah. Like addicted.
Oh my God, which is real. I don't know if I've ever been addicted to like alcohol or weed, because when I wanted to stop, I stopped.
But during that time you were, because that's the only way you can function.
Yeah, oh my God, I shared a tweet with my mom, and I thought it was so fucking funny, but she didn't laugh. That said, addiction really runs in the family, or like addiction really is hereditary, because I have a taste of alcohol, and I tell my friends, oh my God, that's so cool, we should do it every day for the rest of our lives. I felt that. I remember, because I was never a drinker, like in high school and stuff. Like, I didn't see, like, I just wasn't into it.
You were a weeder?
I was a pothead, 100%, because that shit. Yeah. Anyways, so then.
But it's like, the weed is so, what it does to your brain is it stops it from thinking, the anxiety, right? So then that's why it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's why you've loved it so much, because you got out of your head. You stopped thinking.
I stopped thinking. Which alcohol does that too.
Alcohol is different though. Well, for me, it would do different. I don't know. I guess alcohol numbs you in a different way.
My mom likes the alcohol, just so that you guys can know where she's coming from. I just like it all, guys.
Okay. No, I don't smoke weed because I decided this a long time ago. It's like, so I come from a family of addicts, right? My dad's an alcoholic, and he doesn't drink anymore.
That's why the tweet hit, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I'm like. So,
and it was funny for me, but why wasn't it funny for you?
Because it was true. It's so fucking true. Like,
it's like, yeah, it's true, but we're not addicted to anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not.
like,
I don't think it's funny. I guess it hit home too.
Okay.
So my dad's an alcoholic. He stopped drinking a long time ago, but once they say once an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. But anyway, so I always grew up knowing that we had that addictive personality, and that's the way I am. I get into something and I can't stop. Like even when I was younger with Sims, oh my god, I was always playing forget Sims. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
So it's like, and for me that's the addiction. Food. Oh my god, I was so addicted to food at one point, and then I tried weed when I was in my early 20s, and I just loved it. I loved
your early 20s.
Yeah, I didn't get high till I was like. We would do other stuff when I was little, and at that point, I just loved how I didn't think, and I was like, oh my god.
Early 20s.
Yeah, I was like 20, 21.
Yeah, what did you do before that? Drink?
I don't know. Would drink. But so I tried this, and I was like, oh my god, I absolutely love this. I can never do it again because I would maybe smoke once or twice, but it wasn't. I stopped because I knew I loved it so much that I couldn't do it. Because then I would I'd go from 0 to 100. That's my personality, 0 to 100.
Yeah.
That's all.
Is it?
Okay, that was probably the trauma.
Yeah, that's the trauma.
Yeah.
That's
okay, so that's at that. So at that point, 100%, I was 0 to 100.
Right.
So then that's why I never ever did it. I could do it occasionally, but no. And then, but then alcohol, that was just socially. But I remember when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, that I would drink. I would just get into this. I would turn into like the Hulk, like crazy psycho.
Operate from your trauma.
A fucking mess.
Damn.
Fucking mess. Yeah.
Oh my god. Because you only, it gave you the opportunity to let it all out?
I guess. It was crazy. Jeez. Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
I know.
For me, it's just like that.
Oh yeah, well now in my 30s, yeah.
So you're an angry drunk.
No, but in my 20s I was an angry drunk. In my 30s I was a happy drunk, and now in my 40s I don't drink enough to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't like. I went out a couple weeks ago and I only had like. It was all night. It was
you
like
drank?
I drank.
You said that you didn't drink.
I told you I drank.
No, you didn't.
I told you I drank.
I don't care.
It was like from 5 to, and I got home like at 1. But from 5 to 1, I had 3 drinks.
Damn.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, and I was talking to you about that addiction too. That's like, well, now you're a fucking prisoner to that mentality, the 0 to 100, the black and white. Because I don't think it has to be like that. And you experienced that, yeah, right now with you went out and you had a few drinks and you were chill.
And I was chill. I was so.
That's
chill.
the same thing with weed.
But it's insane though, right? But it's so crazy because it's like I went out with people.
With smoking. Fuck, bro.
I went out with people that I went out in my past life, right? They just kept making comments about how, oh my god, you're not no fun anymore. Oh my god, you're not drinking anymore. So it's like these comments. But so then at one point I was like, you know what? That was another me. That was another version of me. This is this version now. So,
but we're in this transition, and I feel like that's how people are because Dad was telling me some shit about it too. He told me that he had stopped drinking too.
Oh my god, that's really good.
So good, right? So good. I'm so proud
so
of him.
Good.
And that he went out with to the game, and that everyone was saying shit. So it's so interesting that alcohol is so socially acceptable, and especially in fucking Mexican parties.
Oh, especially. And so then I wasn't drinking, and everybody
you can be fucking black the fuck out, and it's super casual.
Isn't it? Oh no! And literally, I wasn't drinking. They gave me drinks. That's how far. And I'm like, God. So yeah, I did.
That's all you have to do. Get drinks to say, oh, I'm not drinking.
Yeah,
and then
that's
we'll
crazy.
just hand them to you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn.
Like, but I still didn't I don't know. Damn, that's crazy. I'm proud of you, dude. That's good.
Oh, you tried.
Yeah. But going back, oh my god, the Latino culture, especially the Mexican families, it's so normal to be fucking drunk all the time.
So
it's
normal.
like, come on, if you think about it, little 1-year-old, 2-year-olds birthday parties. When did we say it became acceptable to be fucking drunk?
When we decided not to live our true lives and just fucking give into this matrix ass fucking world and sell our souls that every day we wake up in this fucking suffering.
Damn.
And never heal our traumas and just want to leave.
Isn't that crazy?
But you're stuck.
Damn.
And then the trauma just passes,
it just keeps happening. Because I remember one of the other times that I was separated from your dad and we were like separated for a long time. I literally drank Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes even Wednesday. I would go buy a bottle every day, like wine. Yeah, that's how I got through it. So that's why this time I was like, fuck this. I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna go out. I'm gonna do my work because then last time I didn't do it and I ended up in the same cycle.
Yeah.
And that's why this time that was my main goal. I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna drink. That was my number one. I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna go out.
I remember when I started drinking, I think I was living in the car already, or where I was about to or some shit. But we went out and we got a bottle and I tried it and I was like, wow. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Because again, I hadn't drank. I never.
Yeah, because you weren't a drinker.
No, and then after that, I was drinking.
Because then when we got back together, we didn't really have alcohol. Yeah, because we didn't really drink when we were. I don't really. There wasn't when you were growing up.
Oh,
like
honey, I forgot the wine. But I never drank wine.
You'd only have a glass
of tipsy.
Yeah, you'd only have a glass or two.
Yeah. But I was drinking, I guess, oh my God. I was actually drinking senior year.
Senior year, you were a mess.
With you. Okay, first of all, hold up. Okay, yes, I was a mess, but not.
No, you were still super keeping it together. Super. What society expected of you.
Yeah, yeah. But just with alcohol, I had never, I don't know, it just never was.
It wasn't your choice of drug.
But I was drinking. Damn, I really was drinking.
Yeah, you drink my wine.
Yeah, I would drink with you, yeah. But I don't know why, not with you, but I would drink, like, maybe here and there with you. But I would always, senior year of high school, or unless it was freshman year. I think it was freshman year of college that I, every night, would have like a little wine.
Oh, I remember you would, because at that point I'd be like,
it was so good. But not to like the point to like get drunk or anything.
Yeah. Just
that first time, not the first time, but the first time was like to get drunk, and I was like, wow. So it was more about the drunk. I was like, oh my God, I could do this every day. And I really wanted to.
Oh my God.
I really tried, and I really did.
Damn. Every day too?
No, not every day. But, well, not every day. I think every day until the bottle was done. But like to go out. So like it was just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, tipo. And then...
Damn, been there. Okay,
but it was more weed, though. So, like, that's the thing, too. Like, it was fun, but if I'm not going to go out, then I don't want to.
Right.
If I'm not going to have,
Oh, no. For me, it was, like... I would buy the small bottles, and I would have one while I cooked. I had one for dinner, I had one for bed. And I was fine. Right? Because that's how much my tolerance was. Damn. It was, like, yeah.
So, that's me with weed. Or was with weed. Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't feel it. I would need to buy the double one, the big one.
Whoa, bro!
I know.
Whoa!
Yeah. So see that joke? That's why I was like,
it was real.
Funny. No.
Yeah. I feel you. I mean, but it was real for me too. But I feel like there's still some things, and I mean, I brought it up briefly. This is the second time they brought it up, so there's still some more healing to do in that area. You know.
Like,
so this is the hard part.
But I think that drinking also comes hand in hand with, like you said, you're not happy in your reality, so you choose to escape and to numb. Oh my God, to numb.
To numb. That part. That part.
Damn.
That's real.
And I think now I just make it a point to myself also that, you know what, I don't need to, and I can feel, and I want to feel all this shit, good, bad, ugly, whatever.
I want to feel that.
So that's why I don't drink now. And then also, it just doesn't give me that joy anymore, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't, I don't find the attractiveness in it. And also, too, I don't need the calories.
Yeah. I love weed. I love weed so much. But I'm just afraid. The last time I smoked, I got super anxious.
It's been a while, though.
It's been a while. But I feel like I got anxious, too, because I hadn't processed a lot of the trauma embedded into my relationship with weed. But... yeah, I miss it. I really love it. I really, really like it.
But, too, you gotta think about it now. I think it's different. Because that's how I feel with my wine. Oh my God, I love it. But now it's not the same anymore. Like, I don't.
Yeah. But you still have it's so interesting. I don't know. Because I still sometimes wow, what if I just go, sorry, I don't know if I can be saying this stuff.
Say smoke.
Yeah, what if I just go smoke? How, I still want to, you know what I mean? Which is really interesting because with and it's not that I find myself wanting to do it in like moments of crisis, because I actually don't. I know I'm like, oh, I need to stay the fuck away, actually. But
I think that's where the addiction comes in, that your body remembers how it felt, and you want to feel that way.
No, because it's not necessarily how I felt. I think it's just too like the before. I think it's too like first of all, okay, I think the background is very important. I grew up in the era, well, smoking was very romanticized. So it's not necessarily weed, but it's just smoking. You smoked. I saw you smoke. I watched a lot of TVs and movies with like, that was super romanticized. So I feel like that's a part of me really wants that. She's like, oh my god, I really want to look cool. I want to really be in that. I don't know. I think I have to, because wouldn't you say that if I wanted to go numb, then I would want it more when I was in moments of crisis?
No, because I think it's just the addiction part of it. Because I obviously too, it's not that I crave it, but I do remember that I was like, oh, that just felt so cool, like cool in the sense of like, drinking it, like blah, blah, blah. So it just, I think the body just remembers, and it's part of addiction that your body remembers, your brain remembers, and it just takes, I don't know.
Well, what if it's just that me and weed have a beautiful connection? Not attachment, connection. It's like hearts. Our hearts.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, but yeah, going back to feeling those hard moments, I resonated with that. It's actually, I want to feel it. And in the moment, it feels really rough, but then still sitting with it is different. It's a whole different experience. And I think that it's liberating in that, because it's like, wow, I can feel this.
Oh my god, yeah, because I remember the second time through my divorce, the second divorce, official one. This was the official one.
Okay, girl.
One of the millions. This last one. It was just so different but then I was numb in a different way because I was so depressed, right? But then I was actually feeling it. And so I think I feel like I actually processed everything, because that other time, all I was doing was drinking and going out, so I didn't process shit. I didn't feel shit. So then everything just stayed in there. Everything just, I don't know. Such a mess. But so then this last time I just processed so much stuff, felt so much stuff, but my body, I think, literally couldn't handle it. I literally couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And so I think now,
because everything came up. Right?
Everything came up. It was crazy. And then with therapy, like, everything came up, all the childhood stuff, and
woo. So your body really.
Hey, do your therapy young, guys.
Yeah, do your therapy. Oh, because you bounce back. Yeah, and it's not that much stuff.
It's not that much. Yeah.
That's so true. That is so true.
Because I think you get, and we talk about this in spiritual practice too, that you get to a point where your mind can't comprehend some shit, and so you freaking black out, right? Yeah. And so then I feel like I feel like that's how I was for a long time. Yeah. A long time. So so now I'm just living my life, experiencing every moment,
every emotion, good and bad, which is part of the human experience, which is why we come down. And okay, so addiction or attachment / addiction is that it's your mind, and whereas connection is your heart, your body, your being. It's almost as if it's all of it. It's your mind, body, and spirit working together.
Oh my God, it's like that beautiful connection me and Lola have right now with that beautiful bean and corn salad we just made.
I know. What is
that's so freaking good.
Get it.
It's so good.
Get
so
it.
Good. You're like,
I know. I don't know.
It's so good.
But yeah, so connection is more about in the moment.
Yeah.
Being present.
And I think that once you are healthy, you can have those healthy relationships with those healthy connections with individuals, right? Romantically, platonically, friendships, whatever. But you have to be healthy, and then let's say the other person isn't, but then you, because you're healthy, because you know who you are, you make those boundaries, and if they accept those boundaries, then great, you guys can have a beautiful connection. But if they don't support, they don't accept those boundaries, and they keep crossing it, then you just have to make a choice, right?
Right. And
because then that's not going to be healthy for you.
Yeah, and I think if you do your work right, can come up to a good. We'll see it clearly.
Oh yeah,
you know
yeah.
What I mean?
And I think that's why when so many people are like, "Oh my god, but I can't leave," I think
but
that
you can.
Yeah, once you get to this point where you know what a healthy connection needs to look like, that's when you set up your boundaries. And when the other person keeps crossing them and does not, what is the word? Doesn't support them, doesn't respect them, then that is your red flag.
Yeah,
then
that
you
actually
need to learn. That you need to make that decision.
Yeah.
That actually
or
works.
stay until you're fucking tired, which would be exactly the same thing. You're tired that they keep disrespecting you. You're tired that you keep finding yourself in the same fucking spot. But yes, connection, because I feel like we were focusing really on the negative. So connection. We'll go on to connection. So, which I think is really, really important to add is having pure connections. In whatever context, you know what I mean? Again, I don't just think that this should be just for romantic relationships. I think this is for every single
relationships in your life.
Exactly, every relationship in your life.
Have good connections with your coffee people,
and being present. What are you talking? What?
The good connection with your baristas.
Oh,
they make your coffee happy.
Honestly, and then too, it's like, yeah that's so true. But I mean, be present, and it's a two-way thing. It's not a one thing. You know what I mean?
It's so funny when I'm usually really good, but sometimes I'm like in a bad mood and I walk over to, there's this really cute little cafe to get my coffee from, and I walk over to get it, and when I'm really present, but the other day I was all annoyed. I was just on my phone, angrily. And then they're like, "Hi Fatima, are you gonna get your usual?" And I'm like, "Hi, yeah." So it was nice because it got me out of my head.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh yeah."
Nice.
So it was cute.
Yeah.
But those connections just can get you out of that dark place.
Yeah. And I mean, we're humans. We have this need to belong, this sense of community. And the thing is, too, it doesn't necessarily always have to be with people. It could always be, too, with the universe, with the earth, with your pets. But in order to have those pure, authentic, genuine connections, you have to be present. And you have to allow your body to guide
with your neighbor.
With your neighbor.
Aurora was telling me, did she tell you the story?
No.
That she was playing on her skateboard.
Yeah, she did.
On her skateboard. She did. And she fell, and the little neighbor's like, "You okay?" But he's so sweet.
Being present, and being able to connect. And, and releasing expectations and letting go of illusions, assumptions, everything. Just be present.
Yeah, read the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz.
And surrender. Go meditate.
Just flow.
Go journal. Go ask yourself, what is your relationship with connection? And what is your relationship with attachment?
Go hug a tree.
Literally. And don't expect the tree to save you.
Exactly.
Just be present with the tree.
Nobody can save yourself.
That sounds absurd, right? But then you go and meet people and you expect them to save you.
Right. You expect them to love you when you don't even love yourself.
Oof, that part. Damn.
So don't have those expectations. Love yourself first.
Love yourself
Connect
first.
with yourself.
Surrender.
Know what you want.
Shadow work.
Ashe.
Cool. All right, bye.
That was fun, guys. This was a lot. This was heavy. If you guys need to reach out to us, send us a DM. But
meditate, process, journal.
I believe in you.
Decompress. Yeah.
Proud of you for all the steps you are taking. Ashe.
All right. Have a good day.
Ciao.
Ashe.